Hey, this is Forrest Price with your Monday Moments. How is everyone? First thing, as you can probably see, I went back to music. My video from last week didn't download on YouTube. And I even tried again today. Still wouldn't work. So, first one made it with music. And I felt like listening to music. So, I went back. So, there I go, going back on my word. But I guess that really wasn't word. It was one of those where I thought I had to do something, but I really don't care if I don't or don't right now. So, the music's back. I don't know how long it'll last. We'll see. At least for this week. Alright, so, quick update. I am on YouTube. I now have a subscribe button. So, you can just subscribe to my name, Forrest Price. And you can get all my daily doses. And I got one Monday Moments on there, and hopefully this week's will get on there too. Alright, what is the topic today? Since I only got 15 minutes or less. Why are we having less sex? Yes, I said sex. Now, there are some subjects I will not touch. There's a certain person I will not talk about. But, you know, when I ask people for topics, they gave me a similar topic. I think it was sex versus abstinence. And I was like, well, I need to do some research on that one. So let me just pick something simple, something that I can easily research, something I might even be able to speak offhand, well, limited. Because there are plenty of reasons why people are having less sex. And it's not just the millennials, it's the older people. And there are some specific reasons why. So let's just go over a few. For single people, fewer people have a steady or marital partner. And if you don't have a committed partner, you may have to work harder to have a sexual encounter. So, and I've always said this as far as a man. Man never knows when his next sexual encounter is going to be. Even if he's in a committed relationship, you know, sex is determined by the women. So, I think this probably lays more in the fact that fewer people are in committed relationships, and that is a problem. You know, it's kind of a reverse thing. You think by playing the field you to get more sex, but you actually get less sex. So, you know, maybe think about settling down. Have a better scope in your mind of the person you want to be with, or stop limiting it to such a short field that you can't find that special person. You're on the market for years. So, alright, for couples, there's the decline in sexual frequency among couples living together or married. Now, I kind of know that firsthand, living together. As far as married couples, there's probably tons of reason why there's less sex. I know you hear all the cliches about those Wednesday nights, sex nights. So, I don't know if that's true or not. That they have one day of the week. I hope not. So, but there are other factors, and I'm probably going to touch them later in this. Parents. Today's parents are busy and highly involved in the lives of their children. Plus, people are having children later in life, which naturally leaves them less energy for sexual activities. It's kind of an oxymoron since they had to have sex to have those kids at an older age. Okay, but yes, we are more involved. I think parents are just working more. And I think there's so many work schedule conflicts. I mean, I've had that problem for last 20 years. Either I work day shifts, she worked nights. I work nights, she worked days. So it was like, you know, passing ships. So there was really no time, and, you know, and there's a lack of whatever. So as far as being involved in your child's life, you know, that's a dual parent thing. So I'm not sure how you can blame it on being more involved with kids. And I think people 20 years ago, 40 years were just as involved with their kids. So, to me, I think this sounds like an excuse. All right, technology. In the bedroom, couples are spending more time looking at their devices than each other, which is so true. And I kind of narrowed mine down to the top 3 I'm going to name later, and that's on it. And I'll probably go deeper into them. Last one of these, it says health. Many medications and chronic health problems have sexual side effects. Some cancer survivors in particular have to cope with the sexual side effects caused by cancer treatment. Now, I'm assuming the majority of people having cancer are more advanced in age, so I'm not sure what this study is going towards as far as just saying cancer, but I would say any health problem, these medications we're taking are so bad for our health. They're so unnatural. And yes, I mean, literally the second thing on the thing, it says ED. And if a guy doesn't know what ED means, it means erectile dysfunction. And that's what these pills are causing. So the first thing before you take some, make sure you don't see ED anywhere on that bottle. It's on there for a reason. So, a young gentleman, I shouldn't say should be active, but if you are active, you should be actively in a good way. So, if it's medications or whatever, see what you can do to get maybe some kind of healthier or more holistic way of healing your pains or whatever chronic disease or anything you might have. All right, we're going to go right to my top 3 of why we are not having sex more often. All right, since I already touched on one, I'll go back to it. We actually touched on 2 of them. We're going to go back to the one that we just talked about, which is social media. I mean, internet addiction. I mean, we are literally strapped to our phones. We're strapped to our TVs. We're strapped to all of our devices. You can literally be in the bed with your girl, and she's texting another guy, and you're texting another girl, and neither is the wiser because you're so involved with whatever you're doing. You don't even care. I mean, it is that easy because you're all wrapped up in what you're doing, or the other person could be just sitting there playing a game. And instead of having those intimate moments with each other, you care more about your device and what you're doing, or talking to total strangers over the internet and having a better relationship than the person you're lying there in bed with, and that's supposed to be you all booed up and you're not, or you think you are. So we've lost a lot of intimacy based on the fact that we are wrapped up in our computers and in our tablets and all the rest of it. So that's a bad thing. I'll say the number 2 reason is stress. And there's so many stresses out there. I'm going to just focus on one, which is work related. And I kind of jumped on that one too. It says basically having a bad job can be worse for your health than having no job. And I think that is so true. I mean, having no job, freedom, you do have a lot of stress, but having to go to a job you can't stand, being around people you can't stand, having someone who knows less than you telling you what to do can be stressful. And you come home and you can't just let it go. Or you let it go by drinking or smoking or doing something else that's unhealthy for your sex life. And you come home arguing and complaining, and eventually your partner don't want to hear it no more. So you have no other outlet to go to. Or like I said earlier, because there's so many more people working nights, you don't see your spouse much. So that's less sex. When you're around it, you know, you done worked your tail off. You don't want to do nothing but maybe be on your device or watching TV or all those other shows you watch. And you lose the intimacy, and you probably lose the girl in the end. Or the guy. So, stress. So we got stress. We got the internet. And now, the biggest problem, why there's less stress, well, I'm sorry, less sex than there was 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years ago. That's porn. Yes, I said it. I said it. I said it. And everyone who just heard me say it, know it's true. People, or men, because I'm not going to sit here and say this is an equal addiction. This is basically a man addiction. Let's see. Porn acts, men do porn acts as a replacement for real life sex, which limits our sexual desire in the bedroom because you are watching porn and that is what you desire, and it gives you unrealistic images of what sex should be, or certain sex acts should be, or what most women think are acceptable in a sexual encounter. And that causes sexual anorexia and porn-induced sexual dysfunction. The daily use of porn and its unrealistic images found in porn make it difficult for men in particular to get aroused when encountering the real thing, resulting in them becoming hopeless in the bedroom. I can do nothing but agree with that. There's so much porn available. And there's no legislation. And apparently they done fixed the problem of it corrupting your computers. So now it's even more rampant. So, guys, I don't even know where to start with this one. I mean, I would say, guys, ask yourself, is watching that porn better than the real thing? Now, if you raise your hand, you probably have a problem, and I probably should have had a number handy to give to you. But if your answer is no, then my only advice is to start limiting your porn use and actively spend that time you would have spent doing whatever you're doing on finding an appropriate person. All right, Bible verse, because we're at 13 minutes and I'm not going over 15. All right, Ephesians 5:33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Genesis 2:24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. And Hebrews 13:4. Marriage should be honored by all and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. So that is my Monday Moments. Again, you can check me out on Instagram under rprice4409, and you can subscribe to my YouTube under Forrest Price. You will get my Monday Moments, and you will get my daily dose that I do on Instagram. So I will see you guys next Monday or daily on Instagram. Have a great week.